Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for coming to this video. I am going to break down some receipts concerning the sad tragedy of Shanquella Robinson, and I am going to talk about Nazeer Wiggins tonight, as the story that he told does not all the way line up with what he said. I have actual receipts that I will be breaking down for you guys, and I'm going to explain why I think he is lying or not telling the truth. I'm going to show two videos. I'm about to roll the first one right now, you guys. So, trigger warning.
But other than that, I did. Oh yeah, I know y'all probably asking that. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel bust in her eye, and and that's it. But I didn't really go in there like, damn, y'all jumped her, y'all beat her ass. What's going on? Like, cause they know, man, and nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally in there giving her my all. Like, come on, girl, we was 2,000 miles away from home. 2,000 miles away from home. Don't nobody deserve this. Don't 51 questions.
Alright, you guys just saw that first snippet. Now I am going to play another part of him discussing what happened. Listen carefully.
That's it. But I didn't really go in there like, damn, y'all jumped her, y'all beat her ass. What's going on? Like, cause they know, man, and nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally in there giving her my all. Like, come on, girl, we was 2,000 miles away from home. 2,000 miles away from home. Don't nobody deserve this. Don't 51 questions. Bro, why is y'all talking about the boys that y'all kill y'all friend? I wasn't there. I don't have those answers for you from Friday to 3 o'clock when I got to Cabo. I just don't have them answers. I posted my flight itinerary. When I got there, I can't make that up. I can't. I really don't know what else to do but show y'all fucking the real tickets if I could even find them when I landed and didn't land. But I could post the video, I could show the video, it's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3 something p.m. That's it.
Alright, you guys, so you guys just saw both clips of Nazeer Wiggins. And this is an actual screenshot of his itinerary from American Airlines, Flight 479. He departed from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Gate C-24. Departure was at 10:25, which was 5 minutes earlier than estimated, and he arrived at Los Cabos, Mexico, Saturday, October 29th at 12:19, 4 minutes earlier. The total time of the flight was 2 hours and 54 minutes. Now you have to account for the fact that Dallas and Los Cabos, Mexico, are actually in two different time zones. Los Cabos falls into Mountain Time, which is what, an hour back or forward? Let me think. It would be back. I think it's an hour back. So, if he was just flying in one time zone, it would have just said 119. But because when he flew in cross time zones, he landed at 12:19, thus making this a 2 hour and 54 minute flight. Now, to get into receipts about what he said and why I think he was kind of telling the truth, but kind of not telling all the truth. I'm going to try to break this down as much as possible. So he landed in Los Cabos, Mexico. He said that this was his first flight out of town. I did not put the third screenshot on here when he said this was, I'm sorry, not his first out of town, his first out of country trip. Once you land, you have to wait to deboard. So, okay, let's just round it off and say that they arrived at 12:20. 12:20, plane stops, pull up to the gate. However, you have to keep in mind that even when you arrive, you have to taxi, You might be waiting on other planes to taxi, whatever, whatever. Then when it stops and they say now you guys can start deboarding when it finally pulls up to the terminal, if you're not in first class, you guys know planes will get off first class first, which is basically the front of the plane, and then go back rows, etc., after first class get off. I do not believe he was in first class to deboard, even though that does not play much into this timeline because he still had to wait for his luggage to arrive at the carousel. I will say I've traveled several times before, and let me tell you, I don't care what class you were in, front, back, or middle, you're going to be waiting on that luggage for real. That's the first point I want to make. The second point I want to make about this is, all right, so let's say we pulled up at the gate at 12:20. We have to wait to deboard based on first class, and then it goes from first class on back. This process usually takes at least, depending on the size of the plane, 15 to 20 minutes. So at this point, okay, I'll say he got off and it's around 12:35. Then you're at a place you've never been at. He said that this was like literally his first trip out of the country. He has to figure out where his luggage is going to be put at. That alone, depending on the size of Los Cabos Airport, um, and excuse me if that's not the real name of the airport, but that's where he arrived at, their airport. We don't know how much time it took for him to walk from the plane when he actually was able to deboard to the luggage caravan, as well as getting through customs. Customs alone can take at least 30 to 45 minutes. So at this point, we're probably looking at 1:30, 1:45. He got through customs and he got his luggage. Okay, that's two things that you need to do. You're in a foreign country. When you're traveling in the US, obviously you do not need to go through customs because you're in the country. By him going to a foreign country, it added an extra step to his time. Now, let's go to the receipts of the Cabo Villa and you know, and the time it took to get there. And okay, how can I put this? The Google map I just showed you guys, it takes at least, and this is from Google Map, from the map you guys just saw, it takes at least 35 minutes, and I guess that's a bare minimum, to get from the airport to the villas that they were staying at, notwithstanding traffic, notwithstanding, say, there might be a jam up on the freeway, whatever, whatever, da 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 da. So by this time, we are probably looking at, let me see, 1:30, 2:10. Okay, so about 2:15, he's probably either close to the villa or getting to the villa, okay? And that's being generous. Because like I said, if anybody has actually traveled, I've been to several places flying. I've had to go through customs. So at this point, let's just say it's 2:15. He waited to get off the plane. He had to go through customs. He had to get his bags. Then after getting his bags, he had to get transportation. More than likely, I'm going to say that he took a taxi. I did Google it, and they said that Los Cabos don't have Uber. I don't know if they have any other transport services. You know, they might have private limo or private bus, but they didn't say that. So let's just keep going. I believe that he actually took a taxi to get there faster. If he took a bus, he probably would have had to walk from God knows where. So I'm thinking he took a taxi to pull up. The website said it was 43.5 kilometers, which would take about 35 minutes to get to the villas from the airport. Now, by this time, yes, it probably is actually around 3 o'clock. Now, this is where I think the timeline actually gets messy. from what he said. Now, about time he got there, he said that um she was already in a state where she had a knot on her head, she had black eyes, she looked like she needed assistance. A nurse came. But okay, let's just say that if you can imagine traveling, and I'm just trying to show you guys all the details from what I could think of that could happen. The villas were not close to the airport. You got to go through customs. You got to get your bag. You got to get off the plane. There's a lot of stuff going on. You might have to wait a little extra time. This is like a holiday weekend. There could have been a lot of tourists down there from various countries, just down there to party and etc. for Halloween weekend. So they could have been a little moderately busy. Okay, I would actually buy that he got there around 2:30, 3 o'clock. I could buy that. I definitely could buy that. However, these are the problems I have. When you got there and you saw that somebody you've been knowing for so long was in distress, bruise on her head, etc., etc., will you explain to me how there's one report that a maid found her laying in the living room after you guys checked out? And then the crazy thing is, you said that a nurse took her, but then the coroner's report said that she passed at 3 p.m. on the same day you arrived. 3 p.m. on the same day you arrived. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the coroner's report with me, but this is factual information. But you're telling me that she passed at 3 p.m. during a time where, give or take, you actually did get there around 3 p.m. The math ain't mathing. Now, while I say the math is not mathing, I think that Shanquella was at a point on October 29th, 2022, which was a Saturday, which, if you look at Nazeer Wiggins' timeline, I do believe that he actually did get there after it happened. However, seeing the autopsy reports, knowing what happened to her, I'm finding it very hard to believe that he thought that, she was just sick and she was not deceased, even if he got there and got the tail end of it. Because again, the coroner's report said that she passed at 3 p.m. He got there around 3 p.m. And then, like I said, they're not going to declare her deleted, but leave her body there. They would have taken her body out of the villa. So I'm just saying, something about this situation ain't right. And then you fly back and tell her parents what you told her parents. And then y'all went through her luggage to rebook y'all tickets to get back to the U.S. faster. And none of this bothered you. I think he gonna be the first canary to sink, honestly. But I do think he had a bigger part in this than what he's trying to play down based on his timeline. You guys tell me what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, be safe, blessed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.